Okay, this is Gavin, and this is our first time meeting together. My name is Mr. Rounder. You can call me Steve if you want, that's fine. All right, and Gavin's going to be working today just to give us a baseline of how he's reading right now. We're going to start out with an easier book, and then we'll work our way up to something a little harder if we can. All right, now the first thing I'm going to have you do is we're just going to read the title to this, and just show me how you do. Okay.
The Upside Down Reader.
Okay. You don't have to tell me the name,
Author,
or any of that stuff.
Tina goes to school. Before Mother came to get Tim at play school, she picked up his big sister Tina. It was Tina's first time at school. She had a bright new backpack for her books.
That's good.
After Tina and Mother picked up Tim, they all walked home together. Tina talked about school. She talked about her teachers. She talked about the children. Tim listened. Tina let him wear the backpack. He needed to get used to it since next year he was going to school too, but soon Tina asked for her backpack again. She was the one in real school, not Tim.
Okay, now, can you tell me a little bit about what you just read?
It's about...
Relax, it's okay. There's no right or wrong,
that's not it. I have a little bit of stress issues.
That's okay.
Well, not stress issues. Basically, I have a lot of energy, so
okay.
I can't usually sit still.
Okay.
It's about a girl getting picked up from school and her little brother listening.
Okay, do you remember her name?
It was Tina.
Tina, good, okay. And, all right, so who's getting picked up at school?
Tina.
Okay. All right, anything else you remember about what you read? Can you describe Tina or Tim?
Tina is a little, well, they didn't actually tell you, but judging by the pictures,
yeah.
She, brown hair, pale skin, wearing a pink polka dot shirt, green jacket,
okay.
red backpack.
Okay, and you remember anything about the backpack?
It was
how it was described?
It was new,
okay.
red.
All right, and after they met at the school, where did they what did they do next?
They got the little brother Tim, and they all walked home together. And Tina was babbling on about school.
Good.
And she let the little brother carry the backpack, but eventually she asked for it back since she was the one in real school, not him.
Oh, all right. Well, you just gave a very great summation, a very good summation. Okay, now, are you a left-hander or a right-hander?
Right-handed.
Okay, so you're right-handed. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to gradually try different reading angles for you, okay? Because what we found is, for some kids, this way is not the best, okay? It's stressful on your eyes, and it's a lot more work for you, okay? So for some kids, finding different angles helps, all right? So we're just going to gradually turn the book, and you just continue doing your best and see what you... let's hold it on an angle over here, and why don't you read right here?
Come to the table, called Mother. Lunch was spaghetti and meatballs. After lunch, Tina unpacked her backpack. Tim watched. You can't sit here, said Tina. Why not? Asked Tim. Because I need to study. Tina has to do her homework, explained Mother.
Okay, that was fine. Keep going, try it this way. Just keep your head the same way, and you know, if it goes better or worse, it doesn't matter to me. We're just experimenting.
I can barely read it.
Okay.
Tim agreed But why can't I sit next to her? Because it bothers me, Tina said. Tim, try.
Okay, so definitely harder this way, right? Okay, I'll try it this way.
Or was it?
Starting right here.
To her, because it.
Okay, so no good, right? Okay.
Because it bothers me, Tina said. Tim tried one last time, but I can learn too. You can learn to go away, said Tina. Tim went sadly to his room. Family talk. Well, talk to Dad about it when he gets home, thought Tim. That's what Mother always does when there is a problem. Tim played with the pirate ship. He shot the cannons, but he had to bring the cannonballs back himself. How boring. He went outside to wait for Dad. He wanted a chance to tell him everything before Tina messed things up. Finally, Dad came. He'd gone shopping after work. Tim took a box. Dad? Asked him, but Dad had his hands. Not right now, Tim. Could you please open the door?
I'll let you turn the pages. You're doing fine.
It wasn't until supper time that they were able to have a talk. Does it really bother you, Tina? Asked Dad. Mother gave him a look. Of course he does. He sits right next to her, she said. Dad thought for a moment. Well, maybe not right at her side. He scratched his chin. How about if you sat in my place right across from her?
Good, you're doing fine.
Dad looked at him, and you must promise to be quiet and not bother her, Mother said. We'll give you paper and crayons if you're drawing. You won't be a bother. Okay, said Tim happily. Tina nodded too. All right, said Mother. Let's try it.
You're doing good. Okay, new chapter.
Green grass. The next day, Tim sat in Dad's place, right across from the table. Tina took out her reader and showed Mother her new words. Tim drew blue clouds and yellow sun in the corner. He peeked at the reader. In the corner, Tina put her finger under the words. Tim followed her finger with his eyes. When Tina looked up, Tim drew grass. Peeked, read Tina slowly. Tim watched to see exactly which word she was pointing to. Peeked, she said to himself. Next to the word was a picture of Pete. For Tim, Pete was standing on his head.
Okay, now, can you explain to me what's going on in this particular part, green grass? Why is this chapter called green grass? Oh, we don't even know yet, do we? Do we know
he's
what?
drawing green grass. So.
He's drawing green grass, okay. So what's happening right here? What's going on in the And not just by looking at the pictures, but what basically is happening at this point?
He's sitting across from Tina, and he's reading, which she's drawing, but he's also reading her words upside down, looking at her reader.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Good. Okay. Let's keep going.
Tina could read entire sentences. Pat and Pete draw. Her finger ran under the words across the table. Tim paid close attention, word for word. He read along. Pat and Pete draw. Every day there was a new page. And along with Tina, Tim learned all new words. But for him, the page was always turned around. Whenever Tina looked up, Tim busily drew sun, clouds, lots of green grass.
Okay, you know what? This is too easy for you, so let's move on to something hard. Harder. You're doing great. I wonder if I can just get a glass of water from your mom. What do you think?
I can get a glass of water.
Can I get some blueberry juice? Do you want me to start at the first page or where I
you're
am?
already up here? Wow, you've done a lot of reading already. That's
Well,
good.
I've been reading every night to my parents.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I've
What do
gotten
you
this
want?
far.
How about your favorite part? You want to find me your favorite part so far, or do you want to, whatever you want to do, from the beginning? We're just trying to
There's
get an idea.
a funny part.
We're just trying to get an
something
idea of
going on.
what you're doing, you know?
How about I just read the first chapter?
Sure, that's absolutely fine.
This is
Absolutely fine. Okay.
Okay.
Start
Chapter
right
1. Sneaking out at night, helpful hints. 1. When lying to your parents, maintain eye contact. 2. Make sure you ask permission to attend the
Thank you.
correct fake sleepover. Boys, Stan Winter's place. Girls, Karen Labadazix, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's right. Labadot.
Wait,
Zik.
what?
Labadodzik. Labadogzik.
Something.
Yes,
Something.
okay.
Meet at the old Rockford house at 8:30 p.m. Friday. You can't miss it. There's a crane with a giant wrecking ball parked in front. 5. Enter through missing planks and boarded up window, first floor, east side.
What is the name of this book again? Gordon Swindle, huh? Is it a series?
It's a series.
Oh, it is a
This is the
series.
first one.
Oh, because my grandson is in 4th or 5th grade, and I'm going to have to ask him if he's read this one. Okay.
Yeah, I have the whole series except for the newest one.
Cool. Okay. All right. Is that number 5 there? Is that what that's-
6.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no.
No, the V, right? Let me see.
No, V is 6.
What they doing?
1, 2, 3. 4.
Yeah, 4 is 1V, 5 is V.
Okay. Bring your sleeping bag. Remember, the old Rockford house is a condemned building that will be demolished tomorrow morning. There will be no beds, no running water, no furniture, no lights, no TV. When a plan came from Griffin Bing, even the tiniest detail had to be perfect. He'd organized over every fine point and possibility,
Okay,
all
can you
except
take a look at that word again.
agonized.
There you go. Now, you do know the difference between organized and
Yeah.
agonized? Organized.
Agony.
Agonized means in agony, right? So
Yeah,
it means
so-
he's worrying all the time, okay? Now, organized is very different. So all you gotta do is make sure that you don't have, that's called a miscue. So if you have a miscue, it can change the whole meaning of the sentence, all right? So all we're gonna do is try to avoid those, all right? So, all right, good.
Okay. Mom,
Yeah?
can I have some blueberry juice?
Sure.
He'd agonized, go ahead, he'd agonized over
Over
every
every fine point and possibility. All except one. What if nobody showed up? We probably should shouldn't have put in the part about no TV, Griffin's friend Ben Slovak said glumly. Griffin and Ben sat cross-legged on their sleeping bags in what had once been an elegant living room. They were surrounded by shredded drapery, remnants of ancient furnishings, and mountains of dust. All around them, the cavernous old house creaked and groaned with hollow, eerie noises.
Yeah, that's right. Hollow, eerie noises. So hollow, in other words, like echoing,
Yeah.
you know. Outside.
Outside, a thunderstorm raged. Griffin trained the beam of his flashlight on his wristwatch. 10:34 p.m. I can't believe it. He seized.
Right.
Seized.
Seethed. It means that he's like boiling. He's like boiling.
Oh, God. How could we get nobody? 28 people said they were coming. Maybe they're just late, Ben offered lamely. 9 o'clock is late. 10:30 is a no-show. Don't they have any self-respect? This is like saying it's totally fine for the adults in this town to walk all over us. Ben would have dearly loved to be no-show, number 29. The only loyalty to his best friend had brought him here tonight. Come on, Griffin, he responded.
Check that word.
Reasoned.
Good.
What difference does it make if 2 or 200 people spend the last night in a condemned building? How does that show the adults were standing up for our rights? They're never even going to know about it. Well, no, Griffin said stoutly, sticking out his jaw. Sometimes you have to prove to yourself that you're more than just a slab of meat under the shrink wrap in your grocer's freezer. Why do you think I came up with the fake sleepover idea? I wanted to make sure everybody had an excuse to be here. That was the whole point behind the plan. The plan, Ben groaned inwardly. It was the best thing about Griffin, and also the worst. Griffin Bing was the man with the plan. Maybe the other kids wanted to come, but they were scared, Ben suggested. Of what? Griffin challenged. Dust? The rain, the whole night with no TV? The house is supposed to be haunted, Ben insisted. You know the rumors. What rumors? Griffin scoffed. How do you think it got abandoned in the first place? Old man Rockford was in jail for cutting up his wife with a chainsaw. That's what Darren said. When's the last time Darren said anything that's been worth the air it took to blow it out of his big fat head? Griffin exploded. He also says he's distantly related to the Rockfords with no proof whatsoever. Besides, they didn't even have chainsaws back in Old Man Rockford's time. They had railroads, though, Ed noted. According to Marcus, the real murder weapon was a railway spike pounded into her skull. Griffin wasn't buying it. He's just pulling your chain. You know how he loves messing with people, but Pitch doesn't. And you know what she heard? The house is haunted by the spirit of a dog the old man brought home from Europe after World War I. Or maybe it wasn't a dog. Griffin rolled his eyes. Then what was it? A Komodo dragon? Ben shrugged. Nobody knows. But just a few days after he got to town, pets started disappearing. At first it was just little kittens and puppies. But pretty soon it was full-grown St. Bernards. We're vanishing into thin air. And there were bones buried all around the house. Only Rockford wasn't feeding his dog any bones.
I like this book.
Just to let you know, Griffin tries to scare him the whole night.
Yeah. Now, how many of these books in the series have you written or read already? Is this the first one?
This is the first one. I got a new one last time, but I stopped reading the series then.
Yeah.
And I kind of forgot all about it.
So you're reading this type of stuff. Do you do any nonfiction stuff too? I think you had, well, you got Ripley's here, so that's, in a way, that's strange, the strange reality, right? And
this is kind of fiction.
Mythical monsters.
This is kind of fiction yet fact, because it's fact about fiction.
Okay.
Basically, it's facts about fiction,
So, okay. It's facts. All right, so it's about legends, right?
Yeah, basically it's facts about fiction.
Okay. All right. Things people have always been scared of. Probably has vampires in it.
Oh, it's got like stuff like Dracula, trolls.
Yeah.
Basilisk.
Wait a minute, that's from Harry Potter, isn't it? Harry Potter had a basilisk.
Harry Potter had a snake.
But it didn't look like that.
That's a troll. This basically thing is from Africa, Mommy.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask your mom to come in. Mom,
Yeah?
can you come in and just sit down for a second?
Sure.
Okay, I want to give you...
Anywhere in particular? Could I...
Anywhere you want. Matter of fact, why don't you sit over here, and I will sit over here.
Yep.
And I've got good news and bad news.
Okay.
The bad news, I can't help him.
Because he doesn't read upside down.
Because he's excellent.
Okay.
He's an excellent reader.
That was really like the best. And function words were there, all there?
He is an excellent reader. There's not a thing I could say about his reading.
Well, we've been practicing, right, G?
But you said he's 4th grade, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is a 4th grade book. He's reading on level.
Okay.
And he's reading absolutely wonderfully.
Okay. And he was able to summarize.
Yeah.
For what the.
And you know what? I mean, you can tell by his expression that he knows what's going on in the book.
Now, keep in mind, so when we've read this series before, I have read it, or his father has read it to him. Okay, so it's familiar.
Yes,
it's not
that's
completely.
Okay. That's okay. Believe me, if he was dyslexic, he wouldn't have gotten through the first 2 sentences in that book.
Okay.
He is not dyslexic. He's a great reader.
Do you hear that?
And I'm sad because that means I don't have a student to work with.
Okay,
but he's a great reader, and you know what?
So when he's reading with me out loud at night, and he doesn't read any of the "and" is on there, then.
But that's just because for whatever reason
he's
I mean, whatever's going on there, he can do it. He does it. He didn't miss any little words. He had like missed? 2 miscues, and they were hard words. They weren't little words. So I have to say that I can't do a thing for him, but you know what? If his teachers have an issue with his reading, take this video.
Okay.
Okay, I will give you a copy of it.
Okay.
All right, but as a 4th grader, and I've worked with second, third.
I think the only problem Mom has with me is that I don't want to read.
Well, well, obviously, if he's reading these books, that's more reading than most kids today do.
Well, but it's under duress. And it's if he can, and we've gone back.
You're competing with video games. Every
parent
is under duress, or every child is under duress because they would much rather be watching TV and doing video games than reading. Okay. You're no different than.
So spelling is hard because it's hard. It's not.
You know what? I don't know I'm looking from his reading standpoint.
Okay.
And what I find with the kids I work with. Dyslexia, if that is extreme.
Okay.
Okay. Believe me, if he's in 4th grade, what happens is they hit a dyslexic kid hits a wall at like grade 1.5.
Okay.
And they don't go any further than that.
Okay.
I mean that's it. They cannot read.
Okay.
They cannot read.
Okay.
And anyway, You know, what I found with the kids, that those kids that are that low, because really when I come in here, I'm hoping that he is going to be so low that he can't read anything, because I've had the most success.
So you can have the turnaround, right?
I've had more success with the lowest of the low readers than the kids that are like mediocre.
Okay.
He's not even mediocre. He's just a great reader. He's a great reader.
Here's the thing.
I don't know.
I actually know a kid who has dyslexia.
You do, huh?
Dyslexia, G?
And Andrew Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Is he in your grade?